destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Cold, wet.
From the San Diego Foothills.
Remember? Oh, but you get a good one tonight. Eagles Commandos. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. Headed into a big weekend. Can the Lobo fan have two really good weekends in a row? Can you be blessed with two really good ones in a row? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living?
What it do?
You all right?
All right.
So last weekend, I don't want to say it was the best one ever. I mean, that's, you know, whatever. I mean, you're pushing it maybe a little bit. But last weekend was really good for Lobos, right? Basketball beats the 22nd ranked team the same night. Football beats San Diego State, who they hadn't beaten since 2008. Is it asking too much to have another weekend? I mean, with all
you can ask. Is it too much? I don't think it is.
Right? I mean, Lobo fan deserves it, don't they? With all the kind of beatings they've been taking lately, don't they kind of deserve another big one? I've been looking at Washington State a lot. Go ahead.
Saying it's always good to have hope, and the fact that you actually are having a conversation and can talk yourself into football, being a part of that right now, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not ready to sit here and call that they're going to beat Washington State. And I've watched enough late-night Washington State football that I think they're really good. But I've also watched enough to know that, well, I mean, they can be got, too. Like, I watched the San Diego State game. Lobos are 10.5-point dogs. I mean, you would think against the 18th ranked team in the country who scores at the clip that Washington State scores, you would think it'd be a lot more, right? Washington State last week scored 49. The week before, they needed a late turnover to win in San Diego 29-26. 42 against Hawaii. They beat Fresno State by a touchdown. They got beat by Boise State, their only loss. Put up 54 against San Jose State. They won the Apple Cup, put up 24. They put up 30. That's an impressive win. The win at versus Texas Tech. But I don't know. I mean, are they a mix of what they were against San Diego State and a mix of what they were against Texas Tech? Probably. Mateer's really good. They put up a lot of points. I don't know, JJ. I mean, is it ridiculous with everything they got to play for? I'd like to believe there'd be a little bit of a crowd. I probably should know better on a November evening. And I'm not going to tell you should get out there, but I mean, it's in large respect, Lobo football, you've been saying, give me something to go support and then maybe I'll go do it. Okay. I mean, like Bronco said here on this show on Monday, Lobo football's got a ranked team in game 11 and they still have an opportunity to win out and go to a bowl game. Is that something? You can tell me that's not enough for you, and okay, I get it. You want to watch in the comfort of your own home, I get it. It might be chilly. It's not going to be that bad, though. Sure, the weather's supposed to be pretty nice, right?
I think everything you said about Washington State is right. I expected them to be a double-digit favorite over the Lobos. I think they're good. I think there's a hint of overratedness to Washington State. Like, I don't.
Why do you think they're overrated?
As like they beat Texas Tech and Washington, and then they lost to Boise State. It's like they're a Mountain West team when you look at that schedule. And
if that was UNLV, which it kind of is in large, I mean, it's almost exactly UNLV, right?
So why are they a top 20 team?
And UNLV's not. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of exactly right. UNLV beat Houston and Kansas, lost to Syracuse, and lost to Boise State, and that's why UNLV's not ranked, is because they have 2 losses. But UNLV's beaten 2 power teams, and Washington State considers himself a power team. I don't know. What do you consider those 2 teams anymore? Are they power teams? Are they not power but not group? Like in like just their own column of 2, their own category?
Yeah. So at this point, I think like overall, like when you compare them to the Lobos, I can see Washington State having the edge against New Mexico. But it's in terms of this top 20 team coming in, like I don't have that vibe. Like this is a Washington State team that is actually that close.
It is kind of crazy.
Top 12, like I don't feel that.
Yeah, and they're ranked 21st. It is kind of crazy to me that with the schedule, this is where it shows you're only playing 7 league games. With the scheduling consortium or the agreement, that they've only got 3 common opponents. Only 3. Fresno State, who beat the Lobos early in the year. Cougs won at Fresno State 25-17. San Diego State, who the Lobos beat last week 21-16. Washington State beat 29-26, also in San Diego. And then Utah State, who the Lobos beat in Logan 50-45. The Cougs handled last week in Pullman 49-28. I don't know. Look, I'm not ready to sit here and tell you that they're going to beat this team. I'm not. And this is still was recruited to be a power conference team. They still have the resources of a power conference team. The Mateer is terrific, both running the ball and throwing the ball. They've got really, really good skill position guys. I think they're good up front. I mean, this is a challenge. This is honestly, I mean, would you say this is the best team on their schedule? You can argue they're better than Auburn and Arizona.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think that's what's an interesting place for Washington to be in. This isn't an impossible game for the Lobos. I think both sides of the football, Washington State, are better. That you look at what Devin Dampier and this offense can do. That's how you say, all right, how do you have a path to make this game interesting? And so I do see it both ways. Like I'm leaning towards Washington State.
Sure.
I still give them credit, but I don't necessarily look at this team as like, oh my gosh, if they win, could they actually be sniffing the top 12 college football flap? I don't have that feel.
But why not?
About the Cougars.
Honestly, if they win out, why can't they?
They can, but then I just kind of look at that schedule and go, well, just because there's a Pac-12 banner there, and I guess that's what everyone's running
well,
for.
and this is one of those where you say, okay, what do you want them to do? Right? It's an absolute Mountain West argument. What do you want them to do? Washington, when they schedule Washington every year, Washington played in the freaking national championship game last year. I know who they are. They fell off. Texas Tech's pretty good. Like, what do you want them to do? Right? They lost to Boise State and they got handled. But I mean, look.
Well, I want them to be treated the same way any other Mountain West team would be when you look at beating Fresno State, Hawaii, San Diego, and Utah State. That doesn't get you anything.
Yeah, and that's where UNLV is right now. But I'd be really interested to see where UNLV would be. if in fact they had beaten Syracuse. But they didn't, and they lost in overtime, and that's it. All right, it's interesting, and it's an interesting team coming in Washington State. 505-246-0610. Cougars are, would you see the over-under, the point total on it? What do you think it is?
Maybe like 72?
72.5. How'd you know that? You're damn good at this. 72.5 is the point total. Money line on the Lobos is plus 320, minus 425 if you want the Cougs. Last time the Cougs were in University Stadium, I believe it was 2012. Does that sound right? Well, the Mike Leach New Mexico Bowl against Jim McElwain in Colorado State, where they couged it, where they just had to take a knee. They fumbled. That was that amazing ending, 48-45. All right, 505-246-0610. So I guess we got a lot of places to go today. We're going to go into a lot of hoops and recruiting, and the NBA was crazy last night, and soft as bleep, and all kinds of stuff that JJ's got on this list, and it's really, really good. The NBA was special last night, too, by the way. The NBA was really, really something. But I want to, kind of as a theme as we go through this, we'll talk with Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30 this morning, Jerry from CBS Sports. But your thoughts, right? Here it is Thursday. The weather's beautiful. It's going to be nice. Is this one of those you say, all right, I'm going to go sample it? Like if you've been on the fence, are you going to go out and give it a shot on Saturday night? I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you should go. I'm kind of curious. Have they piqued your interest, right? 505-246-0610. Richard Pitino will be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. He and the Lobo men's basketball team are headed to New York City. They will play Rick Pitino and the St. John's Red Storm. That's in Madison Square Garden on Sunday morning, so we'll talk with Richard coming up at 9:30. 505-246-0610. That is the number to get in and play radio with us today. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com and jj@sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian is working this morning over at ProView Networks, as he does every morning. We're live on your visuals, Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. You're ringing the phones. I want to hear what you have to say. I must take this break. We'll get to your phone calls when we return. Looking for an ideal venue for an event? I was at the Albuquerque Convention Center 2 days ago, and it was spectacular again. They took care of a large group of people, fed them wonderful food. The parking is easy. The place is gorgeous. The Albuquerque Convention Center will take care of whatever you need, whether it's 10 people or 20,000 or somewhere in between, whether it's a gala, whether it's a holiday party, whether it's a reception, whether it is a convention. The Albuquerque Convention Center has 600,000 plus square feet of beautiful, versatile meeting space right in the heart of downtown Albuquerque, within a parking structure adjacent to the facility. Easy in, easy out. Your event will be the event that everybody wants to be at. Take a look online. They'll work with you on menu options. Their staff goes above and beyond. Be at the center of it all. It's albuquerquecc.com. That's the website. You can look at it. And then give them a call at 505-768-4575, 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots?
Really good hoops in the NBA last night. I mean, what Wemby did, what LeBron did. We're going to get into all that. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. How you living? 505-246-0610. Hey, I'm asking you the question this morning, and I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you need to go. That's not my game. But I'm curious. You know, if you've been saying, hey, if you're that person, and there's plenty of you, and I understand it, that, well, I mean, give me something to go for. Give me a reason. You know, that they're not good. I hate watching them get blown out. Okay. I get it. They're 4-4. No, they're not. They're 4-6. They're 3-3 in league play. They got a ranked team coming in with an opportunity as 10.5-point dogs. If they win, they go into their final game of the season to play for bowl eligibility for the first time in a long time. Is that enough to interest you? And again, I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you you got to be there. I'm just kind of curious, JJ, because I have talked to a few people who said, you know what, I'm going to go take a look. I'm interested.
Yeah, there's with a new head coach, with it being Bronco Mendenhall, there's a different energy because you could take a step back and with the conference record, I know that's being talked about a lot, but it's still a team that could potentially finish with just 4 wins like it had last year.
That's correct. They could.
But there's, of course, a different vibe around it, and it's not just Bronco Mendenhall. It's the fact that you are watching a quarterback in Devin Dampier that has a chance to do some very high-level things when it comes to rushing and passing yards, be on lists with some of the best quarterbacks we've seen over the last 20 years in college football. And it adds to it in an environment with a ranked team coming in and an opportunity to be bowl eligible.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. Headed down to the lovely city of Las Cruces. So, home of last year's New Mexico Bowl participants, right?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Yeah. somebody was calling a couple of weeks ago saying that they hadn't seen improvement. Well, here's the improvement. From 2021 to 2023, UNM won exactly 3 conference games. That's a span of 2 seasons.
Right.
Squeezed out 3 wins.
Yep.
They've won 3 games already.
That's correct.
In 1 year.
Yep.
And if they can get by Washington State and beat Hawaii, they'll finish 4-3 in the conference and 6-6. If that's not improvement, if you can't see the marked improvement, and by the way, that game Saturday, I got a chance to watch it because I was out at UCLA, New Mexico. I've never seen our defense this year play with that much energy all game. It didn't matter who was in. It didn't matter the guys were hurt. They flew around the field. They dug in, and they played really good defense. So hopefully they can keep it going. I know they're banged up. I know they're patched together. I don't know that it matters any. And when you can get a ranked team in there, let's do it. You know, I remember the Sweeney the Weenie and the Utah games, and this team can upset Washington State if they play Lobo football the way they have when they're playing complementary football. So I'm going to go, and then I think Sunday morning we're going to do Rudy's Casa de Pancakes, reprise that for the St. John's UNM game. So, yeah, you know, am I going to be greedy? Yeah, I'm going to be greedy.
Yeah,
I want to go
right.
2-0 again.
Yeah, you've been kicked in the stick enough. Yeah, Lobo fans been kicked in the stick enough times. I mean, they deserve a good weekend and another one, don't they?
Absolutely, and I think that if it doesn't happen, you'll still see amazing effort out of the football team and the basketball team, and that's all you can ever ask for from game to game.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really feel good about our chances. I don't think Washington State, no matter what they've been told, thinks that they're going to have a problem with New Mexico.
That's probably right. That's you're probably right. All right, man.
Let's do this.
Enjoy the pancakes. Okay. I mean, that's honestly, that sounded like the best thing of all of them. I'm not going to lie to you. That sounded like the best part. All right, we'll see you. Enjoy the weekend. 505-246-0610. Right, that actually World 7:30 game probably ends about 10:30. You get home, crash, wake up, sleep in, roll over, Lobo hoops against St. John's, and then you get your NFL weekend. That's a pretty damn good weekend. It can be anyway. Can be. Aggies will be at A&M on Saturday, 5:45 on the SEC network. Aggie hoops tonight. They get this will be a good actually test. I think this JJ interested in seeing it and seeing the result. Aggies play Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight down the Pan Am Center. Team the Lobos beat 100-81 2 nights ago. So I think that'll be a pretty good. Give you an idea what you might expect next month when the Lobos and Aggies get together. Asking you the question: are you headed out? Is this something that's on your radar? Have you? And again, like I said, I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just curious. Like, are you going? Lobo fan. This is on the text line. Lobo fan. The football game on Saturday is going to be too early in the day or too late at night. The weather's going to be too warm or too cold or too perfect to go. The opponent's too good or not good enough to be interesting. Lobo defense gives up too many or not enough points to be interesting. Some people just can't have a good time. It's from Travis. Look, and I've told you this. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I get it, man. You know, if you're not a hoop fan, you don't care. If you're not a soccer fan, you don't go out to watch United. If you're not I get it. But for those of you who are like, yeah, I want to like it.
Well, there's been a whole lot of talk. This is the reason why the Lobos were left behind as a football team, and people bashing on them.
Yep.
And saying, to your point, give me something. I'm a sports fan, but why should I go out there? Because this is the biggest moment. You have a team that believes they have a chance because of Devin Dampier, who's one of the most exciting players to watch in the Western United States when it comes to college football. You look at where he is in terms of ranks in the nation, like, it will open your mind. Like, among quarterbacks, his 13 rushing touchdowns, that's third in the nation. Not just, Mountain West, like nation. Like, with what Bryson Daly is doing at Army, and they're an undefeated ranked team.
Who's being mentioned as a Heisman
Milroe
candidate.
At Alabama. And
Who's
then there's
a Heisman candidate.
Devin Dampier in that mix.
Yeah.
And then explosive plays. Devin Dampier in that mix. So it's not just, this is what he's doing amongst his Mountain West peers. This is a quarterback playing as good as anyone in the nation.
Yeah. I hearken back a little bit, and I know they don't chuck it all over the yard, although they do throw it. I hearken back to that, 2016 team that led the nation in rushing? And they were exciting, and they were 9-4. And I remember on this show, people but their offense isn't exciting. What are you talking about? Like you got dudes breaking 50, 60, 70-yard runs on a regular basis. That was Terrion Gibson's team, right? And but they don't throw it in. I'm like, what are we doing? And I get it. To Travis's point, there's going to be plenty of excuses. I don't want, it's too hot, too cold, too Saturday, too whatever. I can't get up early. But whatever. But I'm just curious if this has peaked. If you've been one of those people, like, I'm over it until they give me a reason. Have they given you a reason? And you can say no. You can say whatever. Who'd they beat? Okay, fair. They played Arizona this weekend as opposed to in week 2. Would you feel different about that game? I would. I absolutely would.
Yes.
I mean, Arizona's beat up now. New Mexico, as everybody else.
You realize that the Lobos still were not at that level early in the season, even if those teams aren't as good as we thought they were going.
And that was coming off a Montana State loss, too. All right, 505-246-0610. I'll keep that topic open for you all day. We're going to talk with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports coming up at 8:30 this morning. Richard Pitino, the Lobo men's basketball coach, is going to join us. That's going to be at 9 o'clock this morning when we come back. I got a lot of NFL to get into, but the hoops last night. I mean, Wemby. You had the present, the future, and the soon to be past, all going bonkers last night. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies. past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations. Or visit us online at Golden Pride
5? Is that what it is?
Yes.
I mean, Kevin Durant's a freak in his own right at 7 feet to be able to handle the ball the way he does and shoot. And this is just like that to another level, right?
No, he's not as good as Kevin Durant.
No, not
with
yet.
the ball handling.
But I
He
mean,
never will
just
be.
higher, just taller,
Just
right?
because the coordination, like it's still
Right.
good.
Bigger
but,
dude, bigger
like
dude.
Durant can legit run an offense, start to finish, break you down off the dribble. Wemby is just such a coordinated athlete at that size. Like you just don't expect someone to be able to dribble and move like that, being that big, and you just see it, the consistency. Like at times he makes it look so easy, and I like what San Antonio did this season, going into year 2 and bringing in some veterans. You look at Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, the guys that aren't going to knock your socks off, but guys, and Harrison Barnes is an NBA champion. Chris Paul has played a lot of high-level basketball in his career. However you feel about how it played out for Chris Paul, like that was great to bring into that locker room with the leadership as well of Greg Popovich to start showing Wemby of this is what you have to do every single day to play at the highest level in the NBA.
Previous career high was 40. That was in an overtime game. He had 50 last night. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, LeBron James finished with 35 points, 14 assists, 12 rebounds. Lakers beat the Grizzlies 128-123. Third triple-double in a row. 40th 30-point triple-double of his career. His third straight, like I said, third straight triple-double. And LA's 3-0 during the homestand. They're 6-0 at home to start the season. First time they've done that since the 2010-2011 season. LeBron is playing at a high level. They got Anthony Davis back last night. And I don't know what to make of them. I honestly don't. because they're really good at home and they're okay on the road, but they're 7-4. 7-4 is a pretty nice start for a team that in the last few years has been hovering around that play-in tournament.
Yeah, and that's going to be the challenge for any of those teams in the West, like the Lakers, Warriors. Can you be a top 6 team, not have to play that extra game or two to get in to the regular playoff bracket from the play-in? Winning that clip at home will put you towards being a top 6 team.
Anthony Davis threw in 21 and had 14 rebounds. So you got AD going, you got LeBron going. Austin Reeves added 18 for you, 19 from Rui Hachimura. And if the Lakers stay healthy, you got D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench. If they stay healthy, they're going to be really interesting. They are. How many more runs do they have in them? I don't know, man. I don't see that dude slowing down. Do you?
No, that's still the focal point of that offense. Still a guy that not slowing down, like a triple double. You just don't accidentally do that. Like, you have to be engaged, setting people up, having your teammates make plays, and still the most efficient players on the planet.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, Cleveland Cavaliers. They are now the 6th team in the history of the league to win at least 13 straight games to start this season. They won last night 114-106 over the Sixers. Sixers played without Paul George and without Joel Embiid and without Tyrese Maxey. It's like their whole damn payroll, isn't it? Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. Is that really the Sixers? But they won 13 in a row. Donovan Mitchell scored 23 points, 13 in the fourth quarter. Are they fool's gold or are they contenders? Cleveland.
Oh, they're contenders. Like, I don't think just because they're undefeated, I'd say that that's the best team in basketball when it comes to picking a championship team. But Cleveland, even to get to the second half of the season, you have the takeover guy in Donovan Mitchell. Young players that have grown, Darius Garland, Mobley, Allen, versatile, big defensive guys inside, experience off the bench. Like, this is a team that should be in the conversation of who's playing the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. I mean, you almost put the Celtics in there, huh? They won again last night, 139-114. They're really good. All right, football tonight. And you get the week starts off with a really good one and a big one in the NFC East. Washington on the road at Philadelphia. I think people believe, I don't know, maybe you don't. The 2 biggest contenders to the Lions in the NFC. I think you still got to consider the Niners with Christian McCaffrey back. I do, as much as that kills me. Philly's a 3.5-point favorite at home. Philly's been playing well, and as embattled as their head coach has been, and everybody wants to take a shot at Nick Sirianni. Eagles have won 5 in a row. Who'd they beat? Cowboys, Jaguars, Bengals, Giants, Browns. Got it. So this is probably their biggest test, right? None of those teams have a winning record. Cowboys, Jaguars, Bengals, Giants, Browns. But that's who's on the schedule. The 2 losses against the Falcons and the Buccaneers. I beat who's on your schedule.
Yes, and I trust the Commanders. I would elevate them. This would be their marquee win. If you're looking for, all right, kind of just that signature where you don't have to have a conversation of, well, who did you beat? Because, that's what people always come back to, is you can have a good regular season, but if you only beat the bad teams on your schedule, they won't.
They beat the Giants, Bears, Panthers, Browns, Cardinals, Bengals, Giants. The only team with a winning record that they beat is the Cardinals.
Yeah. So the Washington's trending that way in the discussion.
Damn, you're talking about them like Washington State. Who'd they beat? Like they put together some Patsy schedule or something. It's kind of crazy how it's worked out, though, right?
So I did think they showed a lot in that Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, tough defense.
1-point loss.
Legit playoff team.
Yep.
But you're kind of looking for, all right, what's that next step? Are you really going to trust Jaden Daniels late in the season, playoff football against a playoff football team? Another moment to see can his team be right there and can they be efficient offensively?
All right. When we come back, there's a lot of news, a lot of quarterback news in the NFL. Who's playing, who's not. It feels like everybody's got a little bit of something going on. There's one guy calling somebody else soft as bleep. You get so much drama going on in the National Football League. Pick your team. I think that's why we love this so much. Like, honestly, every team's intriguing. When we come back, you kind of got to know some of this stuff for your fantasy team. But whether you just bet, whether you just watch, whatever it is, there's a bunch of really intriguing stuff, including Ravens and Steelers. And the Ravens are 1-3 against the Steelers with Lamar Jackson in the lineup. Why? Lamar answers that question, kind of. Next. Hey, you see IPS running around town? You see their cars everywhere. You see their officers everywhere in your neighborhood when you go to the store. Why is IPS everywhere? Well, unfortunately, they're needed. It's private, affordable security, and homeowners, business owners are relying on IPS to protect what they've worked hard to build. Property crime's on the rise. Police officer shortage is real. The time for response is way too long, and so IPS is helping people out. They respond to alarms within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security officers. Oftentimes, they catch the perpetrators of the act. They detain them. The cops come and get them. I've trusted IPS for years. They come by my home every day, like every single day. And there's been a couple times my alarm's gone off. They were there right away. I was out of town. I was watching them on the security cameras, and they're like making sure everything's okay. It really is peace of mind. My neighbors use them as well. Who's watching your home when you're not there? I mean, it's a fair question, right? Make sure it's the good guys. Don't wait to be a victim of property crime before you reach out and do something about it. IPS is there for you. Give them a call and see what they can do. 505-897-2420. Area code 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect